In on some of this rubble.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. This is great, and it's got some rocks.
Yeah, so, yeah, we do see some of this volcanic rock, it looks like, the basalt, maybe?
Yeah, that's we're on the seafloor, so.
Do you think it's okay to start the pop sampler back up?
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right, you guys on the pump
Looks
back?
pretty clear. Yeah.
Pump back on. Stand by. All right, it's back on. 081443.
Thank you.
Good call. There seems to be
Okay, full wide video.
hard rocks, right?
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't know. I would. Those chunks are probably sticky clay chunks. There's that
even
one little. Yeah, that one little basalt
okay.
piece. But then again, we've been seeing those kind of dispersed, so it might just be coincidental that it happens to have landed there.
Try this again. Better or worse?
It seems to stop.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
so that seems to be the end of the
There's some
steepness.
features dead ahead of the lasers. I can see something there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it here.
On our way there, can we just pivot to the left and take in this other feature from a distance?
Yep.
Okay, so our depth now
Dusted
is
that up a little bit there.
3313.
Sorry?
So I dusted it up a little bit, a little step.
Ah. Yeah, that thing is so pretty.
Wow.
These really are the cliffs of insanity.
It's going to look pretty neat to come back up this.
Yeah.
Yeah, could we kind of stay at this distance from the wall to get an overview of it?
Sure, yeah.
Thanks.
Now, do you want me to carry on the way I was going and see what that...
I
all the
am very
little-
interested to see what that is, and it takes us in the direction we want to go anyway, right? Or
yeah, did you
sort
want to
of?
run back up this to get another look, or are you done with it?
You're done? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we got a pretty good look. Approximately 27 meters tall.
Coming down.
Whoa, look at these
Whoa.
chunks.
That's what we were looking at.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what this is. Look at that.
They're
They almost
very
like
blocky.
bricks of concrete, don't they?
Yeah.
And that, you know, this feature kind of reminds me of something that probably landed as a solid block, and then once it had impact, it probably caused it to fracture. And that's why it kind of looks like the pieces are so puzzle-like.
It kind of makes you wonder where it came from, huh? Just that one solitary big chunk.
Well, so far.
You can see the little.
Yeah.
We might find more.
You can see sedimentation differences in the bottom on the left of the screen. There's a little bit of white layering, and then it gets that darker tan. So there's good reason to believe this came from that wall above it.
Yeah.
It's really cool, like Argus view.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That makes it look almost like a site where we found an old building, you know,
Yeah.
archaeological site or something.
Vito, you want to push in a bit more there in Argus?
Wow. The cuts, the
Yeah,
fractures are
it's cool.
so clean. I can see why you were saying this would be really hard to core
Yeah.
when they try to touch it, because it's not really crumbling. It's
It was very dense.
solid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just really makes me wonder about the age of it.
Yeah, for this kind of feature, you'd really need to take a sample and then analyze the sediment. And that would just be the age of the sediment. You wouldn't necessarily know when it was deposited
Right.
or when this
Zoom
feature
in the crack
fell
there
off
video.
of it.
So how would you take a sample of this? Do you think it would hold up?
You could take a grab sample.
Cool.
And it would be like a You think it would hold up, stay together? If there's a small chunk of it, should we collect it or no?
It looks like there's some pieces down below
I
Argus.
think that's
Yeah.
something
Or
that would be of
down below.
We could
interest to
try.
someone.
Okay, full wide. This is awesome.
Yes, cool feature.
Kind of interesting that they're in this crack with these filter feeders, so water must be flowing through there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, channeled water,
Mhm.
going a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
So that in the deep sea, the whole environment works together, and so the geology can really impact the way that the water flows, which will impact the way that the animals position themselves. And so it's really a interdisciplinary system. Whatever on the right, that's probably just an organism.
On the
On
right
top
there?
of that feature, yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like
I
a
think
little hole.
it's an anemone. Oh, wow.
Do you guys want to try and take one of these little pieces?
Yeah, I think that
Yes,
we should
please.
try. Definitely.
How is this
bef-
small one that the lasers are on
I
now?
think that's great. Do you think we can get it without causing a dust storm?
Yeah, we should be okay.
Okay, we just have to be mindful of the pump if we do end up kicking up a lot of
Yeah.
sediment. Okay. Yeah, no, that'd be great. If it's quick and easy to grab, I think that'd be perfect.
This feature almost looked like it was domed before it broke up. If you look in the Argus view, you can kind of see that the domed shape, and then even the pieces on the right of our view right now kind of have that curved edge to them. So maybe it was some kind of slump that then broke up.
Oh, our little red shrimp friend is back.
Oh.
It's a challenge.
Well, one of the things that our scientific lead, Chad, said is, you know, if you're going to stop and make collections, if there's opportunity to make more than one at the same time, that would be a good use of, you know, our time. So
Got a twofer there, Mike.
maybe.
Oh, what else do we want?
Just
the shrimp.
noticing the red shrimp if it comes within grabbing distance.
We like to
But
make
let's get the
ourselves
rock
feel inadequate.
first. Let's have a successful rock collection first.
There's two little holes in the sediment you can see in the Argus view. I wonder if those are those
Can I grab it, or do you want
Yeah,
traces
no,
of
you go
those
for it, but I would
worms we
take
saw
that on
earlier.
like grip force 2 or something.
Sorry,
I
I'm
think it's going
listening
to
to two
smash
things
that.
at one time.
Okay.
So how fragile do we think these rocks are going to be?
I don't know. It depends on the grip strength that they use.
Yeah, I think this stuff is going to fall apart pretty easily.
Okay.
Mushy.
Yeah.
So we can
So
put
we're
it in
gonna
forward lambda. That one's
Okay.
empty.
All right, I got grip force 3 going. Forward lambda.
Yes.
Roger. Did you want to zoom on it before we collect it?
Yeah, that would be great. And
Yes.
with lasers,
Yep.
please.
Go ahead, video.
There we go.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lots of little sea urchins around here too.
Both the,
Is that what
what
that?
looks like a heart urchin, they're calling irregular urchin, as well as the regular urchins.
Yeah. So the like disky looking thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, rock, hold together.
So you want to go a little bit further up here.
Nice job.
Come on. Sorry, I'm just closing my jaws very slowly.
Yes.
Now this truly is one of those games with the claw.
What was it that the little alien toys was that in Toy Story?
Right.
The claw.
The claw chooses who will stay and who will go.
Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope it stays together. Come on, rock. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I thought that.
Now we have to remember
Try
this is
once more on
actually
this
a
grip
clump of
force.
sediment,
I'll
so it's
increase
not
it a little bit.
No, I know.
technically a rock.
Okay.
And so if it disappoints us, we have to remember it's not truly a rock.
Yes.
It's just an aggregation of sticky sediments.
Oop. Sorry, guys. Stand by. I'm going to increase our grip force a little bit there. Let's try that.
Ooh.
We got something.
Nice, Jess. Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, and get it in.
Yes.
Oh, I think you're gonna lose it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a rock though, like you said.
Good try. Is this gonna impact the pump?
You can secure it if you want.
Yeah, I don't think he would have worried about that amount of it, but
Okay.
it's safer to secure it if you're worried about it.
I've just
That's kind of, I don't think it's going to go up there.
situational awareness. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how worried I
it's
am.
not.
How would it even fracture into that pattern without disintegrating?
All right,
I mean, if it has like one
stow that
solid
thing.
impact and it
Do
just
you-
fractures on the weakness planes, then you'd
Splits
expect it to
across.
split.
Do you guys still want that shrimp if it's still there?
While we're here.
I don't want to chase that in there anyway. We're pretty close to the rock.
Oh, he's right there.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
taunting you.
Okay, so no more tries on this one? I don't think you're on SPL. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to work, so
what
we
if you
should
tried
move
to
on.
get a bigger piece,
I think we're going to
knowing
end
that
up.
it would?
And it's the
sort
same problem.
it's
gonna- Yeah.
Our
yeah.
arm's just going to smoosh it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can keep moving on. I am trying to be mindful of the time as well, so we are able to make progress towards our other waypoints on this dive, as well as to having a chance to survey this really fascinating wall.
Why don't we just take
And
one of these
rubble.
boulders, right? We can just put it on Herc's
But
roof
they're-
rack.
But they're not actually boulders.
Ah.
They're big chunks of soft sediment.
Yeah, the only thing you can do there is get that little hack to work, but that's hard too. Because it usually either just slowly closes or slowly opens.
So based on the returns on the sonar, what are you thinking as far as how much more area there is on this wall?
Let's follow it.
Like to go along it rather than up and down it?
Yeah, I think let's get a sense of the extent of it. Maybe if we keep a little further away, we'll able to get a good view
Yep.
of how big it is.
Come back up to it.
Because we pretty much covered that other return you were seeing, which was this rubble field, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And Aaron, is there point at which we should put in a move to continue our travel along the waypoint when we see that we're coming to the end of this feature? I don't know how the timing of that all should work.
We'll kind of creep along. I think it's a good idea to follow it out to its edge.
Okay.
And then see if we can get
buddy.
a feel. Do you care about if it goes back around?
Are you on the other side?
Yeah.
If it comes out to a point? Well, I was just wondering if we got to the edge and then we called in a ship moving, it would take a while for that to translate down here. Is that right?
That is very, very true. How do you guys want to handle it? Pilots?
Well, to go along it, I would vote for. Remember how this came down in 2 or 3 steps here?
Mm-hmm.
I would vote for going up, getting kind of in the middle of the really long flat part,
Mm-hmm.
and then ride, and then just go along that until it peters out.
Okay. Sounds like a good as plan as any.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go forward on this and get back on the wall, and like you say, I'll look out along it,
Okay.
so that we can see it. Kind of something like this.
Yeah, so we can see like that lower edge if it teeters off at all.
Ashley, you want to come full wide on Argus, please?
Yeah,
you.
Argus might be pretty far away from that now.
Thank you, Jennifer. I'm gonna have to send you
thank
like
you.
a bag of
So I
worms.
think this is it. Yeah, there's another one. This here it is. This
Where are you
little short
looking?
one.
Where? Do you want to look at that?
Let's do on here.
030.
Yeah, that black
your mic
coral?
is, Jen, your mic is
Off.
on.
Sorry about that.
Just bring an Argus in,
Yeah,
like 20
030.
meters, almost due north, and then try and move along it from there.
Sure.
This is like full 40 meters away here.
Yeah. Alright. You want to do 030? That's like dead ahead for Argus on that.
Yeah.
20 meters, 030.
Yep.
Bridge nav.
Thanks, Aaron.
We have a 20 meter step bearing 030.
Are we going to move? Can we pan down a little bit? There we just saw a couple black corals below us. I was just curious.
Yeah, it'll take a couple of minutes to get this going, but basically, I'm gonna move a little bit closer to the cliff, and then we'll start going along it.
Okay.
Where did you see the black corals?
They were, should be right below us.
Or it came up over here.
There's one, I think one over
yeah.
to the right.
Did you guys get the water pump back on?
It's on right now, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we turned it off again.
No.
So, yeah.
Hey, zoom in there. Is that one?
I just want to see the base of a few of these, what it's attached to.
This one's knocked over, isn't it?
Okay. That one, the base is buried.
Is it, or is it attached to that little rock to the left?
Yeah, I think it's attached to the rock to the left, but then it's buried.
The stalk is buried,
Yeah, the stalk is buried, yeah.
Isn't there a type of black coral that has a
Full
hook?
wide. There's another one right in front of the porch. Can't see it yet in that camera.
That has a hook as an anchor that can anchor into the sediment?
Well, this looks like the bathypathes we've been seeing attached to hard substrate. So yeah, there's another one there and there.
Okay, zoom in
Almost looks
there.
like they've fallen.
Yeah. Don't
Makes-
look very good.
Makes me a
Not
little
that one.
curious to see where they fell from.
Yeah.
This makes me feel like we should go all the way to the top of the wall and see where these fell down from.
Is going to the top of the wall something that we are able to do while we wait for the ship, or is that out of our maneuverability?
We're moving the ship in closer to it now, so then we should be able to do that before, if you want to, before we carry on along it.
Just to, well, maybe we could go kind of up and over.
Yep.
To the plateau.
Up and over the
As we're going
wall?
up, we can still go along it, I think. I'm just curious. These look like they've fallen down from somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
With the corals like attached, yeah.
Yeah, and we hadn't seen corals anywhere else on this wall.
Oh yeah, because why would that have established itself on the underside of this rock?
Right.
How long do these black corals take to grow to the size that we're seeing them? Is it a pretty quick thing? Because I noticed we haven't seen a lot of very small
Okay, full wide.
examples of these.
We did see some small ones on the previous dive. So, but I don't know their growth rate. It's slow, I believe. It looks like a few other rocks down here scattered. If we can just move around and see if we can see anything else like this.
Yeah, there's all kinds of little rubbly bits there, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Can you zoom in on that purplish thing?
Up ahead?
Yeah. Is that an octopus?
It
Yeah,
kind of looks
maybe.
like
male
it.
octopus, I think.
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
I think
Yeah,
it is
Megan
one.
was saying they were seeing random males.
Can you zoom in?
They did?
Yeah, along their path.
So this is kind of good sign. He looks like that whiter top one with the
With
oh,
the reddish
and he only
margins.
has one row of suckers. This
No,
might
no,
be
no.
a granellodone.
I see two.
See how they zigzag though?
Oh, the zigzagging?
Yeah.
So you think this might be a different species?
Well, I
The
think
eyes
it's
look different.
reason to speculate that it is not what we've been seeing based on the coloration. There's definitely seeming less concentration of suckers.
And look
Yeah.
at the
arms.
See how the eyes are more bulbous?
Yeah,
The
more
eyes
like
are
a
bulbous.
typical octopus,
Mm-hmm.
if there is such a thing.
Yeah. This one looks pretty different. That makes me think that when we saw one that had this coloration, we may have been looking at the different species.
Yeah, because we didn't get a good look at that one's underarms.
Underarms. Mm-hmm.
Can we get the lasers on that, please?
Yeah, just come out a little bit wide video.
There we go.
Okay, just comparable in size to what we've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some yoga.
Thank you for that zoom.
All right.
Let's go find the rest of them.
Well, we don't know there's
All right, full wide.
there's the rest of them. But I wonder if they've been seeing this species or the other species. If they've been seeing some singletons in this area. But there's another black coral to the upper left. Oh, well, there's one right there. Well, then maybe
What's that red thing on the sonar? Is that more of this wall?
What are you looking at? The big
kinda-
curve in front of the Herc
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
Yeah, that's the wall, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I guess it's more yellow, not really red.
So what maneuverability do we have right now?
So I'm just going to approach the wall. I think we should be able to go right up it now.
Okay.
Still pretty stretched out here, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get another 10 meters in on the same bearing, Aaron. That'll be safe.
Okay, 10 meters 030.
Yeah.
Bridge nav. We have a 10 meter step bearing 030.
All right, so this is the wall proper here. Now, there's no more steps.
Got it.
Overhangs it a little bit.
Yeah.
Aaron, which waypoint are we closest to right now?
We are closest to waypoint 6.
Okay. How are we pretty close to it?
I mean, we're in line with it.
Okay.
We are west of it 70 meters, but
Okay.
we're beyond it as far as going north-south. Just beyond it.
Okay. Got it.
So we can't, like when we have this wall in front of us, I can't start pushing us north unless we went up and over or out and around it.
I'm just thinking what we're going to do next.
Okay.
It looks like, from what I can tell, that there's...
So this is really about it here.
Okay.
There is another, in about 100 meters, potential high slope area showing up.
And then after that, we don't have a lot, right? Of high slope area for a while as we go towards 7?
It's speckly. That's probably the most promising. The next one, about 100 meters off.
Okay.
But then, yeah, towards 7, they have quite a lot up there, but there's an expanse that could probably would probably go pretty fast.
Yeah, that's I think would be the good plan.
Not knowing what the surprises are. But I think it's worth checking these things out.
So will we zip over to the next little purple part?
Yeah.
Do you want to, not knowing how far out this extends, do you want to go up and over?
Well, I mean, we're okay here now, as long as we don't come in any closer to it with Argus, which is like, hold on, I'll get you a bearing. Like Argus is pointed almost.
Almost at it, yeah.
And it's
015
basically
probably
due north almost, right? So not knowing how far out it is this way.
Yeah.
I could either move us this way or we can come up and go north because our next thing is like due north.
Yeah, I think you can, what do you think, Jess? I think you can put in the due north or even like 15 degrees or something. We can just lift up a little if we have to. We're right up at the top of it now anyway. It's not dangerous for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like it's going to go along that contour on at least the map.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so
Yeah.
up and over.
Yep.
015.
That sound good, Science?
So we're going to go along and then up and over, or just up and over right now?
We're going to go along it now and then like up on where I am at the depth we are now, and then if we're cutting in a bit too close to it, we'll lift up as we need to.
And go over, okay.
Yeah.
And 20 meter steps?
How far away is this? This
The next 100 meters.
Yeah, okay, sure. Just as long as we're not too close to anything, just try and keep them coming before they stop up.
Okay, let me just check that. Yeah, it's about 100 meters. All right, here we go. Perch it out.
All right.
We have a 20 meter step bearing 015.
Zoom in there, video.
It's a nice looking set of corals.
I like the way they curl their branches. Not the white one, the sea stars below.
Oh, the sea stars.
Yeah,
or
it's really
the feather
delicate.
stars?
The feather stars, yeah.
The names of these corals do not stick in my head so much, so I'm
This is
looking
an
at...
octocoral, right? It just is a general
Yes.
identification.
Yep.
And they call it that because of the 8. Each of those little polyps itself has 8 branches.
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
Ah, there we go. These look like Lepidopsis.
And so each of those little polyps is an
full wide.
individual animal, right? It's colonial.
Colonial animal, that's right.
If one was to get sick in some way or impacted, does that cause all the colony to be impacted? Or are they pretty stoic in their
Are you talking about like a
existence?
disease, or are you talking like if a predator starts to eat them?
I mean like a disease.
I don't know a lot about disease in corals, so I don't know. I mean, I would think they would all be susceptible to the disease. You know, when they have predators on them and they can eat part of it. And actually over at Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute, they're studying how capable they are of recovering areas with lost tissue from predation. And that's ongoing. Some large features off in the distance ahead.
Those look like
Like
those
corals,
black corals.
maybe. Yeah, the black corals.
Yeah.
Squat lobster, anemone.
Yeah, I see where the corals are falling from there.
Yeah. These are much bigger than the ones below.
That's a very interesting cutout of the feature below Herc.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and those corals down below were on rocks. I don't see any rocks.
There's a little.
Well, it's interesting
Can
because
you
these
zoom in
have
there?
to attach to something. I think there
Tiny
is just
little black rock.
little black rock just in there, it looks
Buried
like.
in there.
That sea star on the
No
left looks like a
way.
hand
It
crawling out of the
does,
sand.
yeah.
So there are these just little rocks embedded in this, I guess. And when they're
Let us
exhumed, the corals can start to grow. But maybe the corals, for some of them, get so heavy and cause enough drag from reaching up into the flow that they get pulled free and fall.
Yeah, sort of slough off there.
That's true. Also, it is. I mean, even though this is relatively sticky, consolidated sediment, you're still going to get areas that are unstable. There's a tiny little anemone on the end of that black coral.
Okay, come wide.
Is that just a little
Maybe they get
cave
weighed down by
feature
the animals
below
that
you?
live on them.
That could happen too. But you would think that they, definitely cause some
Ships
drag.
Looks like there's a big cliff. I think this is what you guys were talking about, Scott. There's a big underhang right here.
Yeah, I'll just dip down there quickly. Take a peek.
Oh
Whoa.
my goodness, look at that. I wonder if that was the chunk.
How did you see that? Oh, you saw that in Argus.
I saw that. Actually, I saw the organisms that drew my eyes to it.
Could that be?
Oh, that might be
Our
where
piece.
a chunk fell
Yeah.
out. Look at that.
Wow.
It's a very clean cut.
I'd like to keep the steps going if that's okay.
What's that?
I'd like to keep the steps pretty continuous.
Yep.
This
Yeah,
is
definitely. Unless we're
Bridge
gonna.
nav.
No, this is good just to check it out, see it quick.
Another step, please. Same bearing.
Well, now we know where our chunk came from.
Possibly, maybe another chunk.
That's true.
You know, when you're in a highway and it says rocks falling.
Yes.
Beware falling rocks. Yeah, well, there were probably some soft-bodied animals that got squished when this happened.
Just gonna try and
Squished squishies.
come down and go back up very quickly. So we're
That
on the
sounds
move
good.
here.
Thank you.
Well,
It's pretty massive.
I'll let you know when we'll start pulling up.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron. Oh, good. Thank you. Oh, choices. Choices. So many options. Ooh.
Sure.
Who said that?
that sea star
That-
looks like a little human.
Who said soft sediments can't be interesting? Look at all this cool
I don't know.
stuff.
That person was wrong.
Is this mostly like rocky with soft sediment on it, like, or is it all just because it crumbles so easily?
But like good sections of the California coastline are these sedimentary rock cliffs,
Yeah.
and all along those areas where they'll say unstable cliffs, do not come out to the edge, and
Right,
every
yeah.
year people go out to the edge to take pictures and fall in the ocean
Oh,
Any other
no.
ones?
because they're standing on
Yeah,
stuff that's
okay.
not stable like this. And it's getting slowly worn away by erosion, by the waves and the rains and everything.
And if you stand under them, there was recently actually a pretty tragic event at one of
Aaron.
the beaches in Southern California from a cliff fall.
Oh, ooh,
No, midway.
yeah.
So be careful when it says unstable cliffs. You've seen the effects.
And if you see rubble, there's a reason it's there, because stuff's falling from above. Maybe don't hang out there.
Can a representative of the back row approach me at the navigator station?
Yes.
I'll be your representative.
That one's great because it has coffee beans in it.
So is this, we're still in the wall area, just got real plain in our view.
Yeah.
You guys want some more?
Yes, please. This is why I have to brush my teeth before and after the shift.
Good morning, Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks for checking in.
I wonder if it's the same Charlotte, North Carolina that we get tuning in every morning.
Yeah.
The
Wonder who it might
insomniac
be.
who tunes in with us.
So
Well,
from
it
the sonar, it looks
6
like
o'clock
we're
there.
kind of maybe
like
near
4.
the end.
Or,
Sorry, yeah, we're gone off of that little bit now.
Okay.
And trucking over to the next
Next, bright pink.
bright pink patch, yep.
Great.
Let's see, we have about 68 people on right now. Romania's checked in. Malaysia.
Well, welcome. We are down over 3,000 meters along the apron of the Davidson Seamount in an area we've never explored before. We're using some mapping to help us navigate amongst some areas that appear to have, well, some areas have kind of a, we're seeing here more of a flat topography with lots of soft sediments, and then punctuated by some cliffs made of sedimentary rock that are pretty interesting.
the last one we came up upon was 80 feet tall, approximately, in a
Wow.
lower range rough estimate.
Is the ship moving at like 15 degrees or something like that?
We're trying to balance exploring what we're currently seeing with also trying to make progress towards additional areas that look interesting on our maps. And because we're at such depth, every time we ask the ship to move, it takes a while for that ship movement to travel down the cable and then start to move Argus and allow Hercules to move. We're trying to work with all those different components to balance exploration and progress forwards.
Yeah.
Bobby from Burbank, California is checking in as well. No sleep until the end of the season.
Could
Oh
even
my
use an
goodness.
auto
I wonder
runner
how long
so
Bobby's
that
been
we
going on
get
no
over there.
sleep. I went to sleep, Bobby, and I missed a bunch of really cool stuff when we were at the Octopus Gardens, but I didn't think I'd be able to make it all the way through this multi-day cruise if I didn't sleep some. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, where'd you say it was? Southern California?
But you know, even if we miss something, we can watch it in the highlights or on YouTube.
I know, it's still fun though to
Someday.
see it.
I know, to see it live,
Yes.
like to
Be part
have
of the
that
buzz.
reaction. Yeah.
Mhm.
We are 12 hours into this dive, our final dive of the 2019 season. And somebody checking in, a Norwegian in the UK,
Good morning.
wants to know when we'll be back in 2020. We'll be back in early spring. Some exciting
Oh, is that a?
new things happening. For next season, we have the Nautilus mobile unit, which consists of Hercules 2 and Atalanta, which is the analog to Argus that we will have the ability to place on board other ships that will go out exploring, and so we'll be able to see through the magic of telepresence what's going on in that exploration. Then of course Nautilus will begin our season probably in May. Again, we'll be on the in the East Pacific, which is of course the west coast of the US again, exploring from Washington, or I'm sorry, Canada, British Columbia on down into Southern California again.
So here we have a grenadier
Zoom in there, video.
slowly swimming along.
He doesn't keep it back there. Or at least this, I think, goes over the Scott.
I was listening to one of our other watch leads, Erica Burton, talking about these grenadiers. She spent a lot of time reviewing video and characterizing the depth distribution and the species of grenadier that occur in the Davidson Seamount area of the sanctuary, as well as in the rest of Monterey Bay Sanctuary. And she mentioned that some of these grenadier have a white line at the base of the dorsal fin. That's the fin on the tops of the body, and sometimes that's caused by a fungus, which is kind of interesting. Don't know, she doesn't know a lot about it, but they're starting to document when they see it.
All right, full wide.
Charlotte,
So-
North Carolina is always up when we are diving.
Back row, do we want
Love the
to,
baby
do
octopus.
you have an
and
idea
shrimp.
of like, do we want to try and spend less time at this next place, or?
I think yes, we need to probably spend less time. As we get closer to it, I'll be curious to see what it looks like on the sonar. That
Yeah.
might help us figure out what to do.
Yeah. 'Cause I think it's a fair bit of distance to get up to the next.
Waypoint after
Yeah.
this.
We have 2 ROVs aboard Nautilus, and they run in tandem. Hercules is sort of our main view, and the working ROV that carries all of the equipment, has the mechanical arms on it, and that is flown generally by Mike. Argus, which provides amazing views of Hercules off in the distance. I'm looking at one right now. You see on the quad cam. Is generally controlled by Jessica, although they both share responsibility on both ROVs.
Can you hear me?
Far away.
How far? We are about straight lines, 1,200 meters, but probably have 2 different azimuths, pretty similar.
You really get a sense of the importance of Argus in this operation when you're looking at the Argus view of Hercules. You can see how the camera bobs up and down quite a bit. So that gives you a sense of the motion of the ocean on Nautilus. And you could imagine how challenging it would be if we were just using one ROV trying to do some of the collections. So Argus is really instrumental in this operation in providing the stability necessary for Hercules to operate. Sort of acts like a big hydro shock.
Hi.
So we've got to.
Viewer says his wife says she is a Nautilus widow when we're diving. Hey, Jeff from Houston. Sorry you're an insomniac. Glad we've got a good cure for that.
That's right. We can keep you company.
That's right. We can at least keep you entertained.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we want to.
What is the source
We've been diving for
of
2
the
hours.
view in the
haven't
bottom left of the
Covered too
quad?
much distance.
What did
We've
Chad
seen some
say?
really good
I
things,
guess we'll
but
just see how
We did like
it
2.5
look.
kilometers
I
in
guess
4
it'll take us
hours.
pretty much the upper half there. Yeah, maybe we can angle the next one a little bit downslope, and then that way we can traverse a little bit more of that terrain.
Keep moving.
Even if it's something shy, like, 045 or 060.
he said what, 904, 940 now it would be? So now 940? Okay.
Someone like to know about who gets to be a Science Communication Fellows on board. Yeah, it's really a great process. If you go to the website, actually, we are recruiting for next year's cohort of Science Communication Fellows. If you are well, I run the aquarium at UCSB. If you're a science educator or teacher or scientist, you can apply as a Science Communication Fellow and join the team. It is an amazing experience, an amazing group of people. The Science Communication Fellows all, share a love for communicating science, but everybody aboard this ship has a very similar, for lack of a better word, vibe to them. It's really like being amongst family. The sense of humor, insight, passion for this is shared by all, including the crew of the ship as well. There are also internships that you can apply for. Our current video engineer, Ashley, is an intern on this. Ashley, would you like to share a little bit more about how you got involved?
Sure. You should definitely apply for the internship. There's a video internship,
What are we
ROV.
What is this?
What are we seeing here?
Oh,
Is this
rocky
behind
area?
us?
It's just to the side
Or
of us.
Just to the side of us. Okay, these little steps and some black corals.
Cool.
Sorry to interrupt you, Ashley.
That's okay.
That was, I was surprised to see that.
I think it's kind of the start of this next cliff-like kind of feature here.
Okay.
Just coming onto it.
Hey, could we maybe get a view of Dean's outtake just to make sure that that's actually pumping through since we turned it on and off? Thanks.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Where is
It's waving in the wind. I don't know if.
Where is
I
it?
mean, we
Where is it?
create
Oh, there
our
it is.
own.
Oh, yeah.
it? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Still pumping.
Thank you.
still
Just
pumping.
keep
Well,
pumping. Just
what's
keep
that?
You said when it's pumping, it's supposed to be like straight out because the water being pumping out of it. It's supposed to.
I think it's not. It's not got a lot of flow. So I think if the vehicle's moving forward, it's kind of
Okay.
that current moves it more than what it's doing.
Is that a Cuskeel?
That
that a
is a
grenadier?
grenadier, just a really good
Just a
size grenadier.
Really
Maybe grab it. I mean,
chunky.
look at how
Yeah.
wide it is. There, a lot of them look much slimmer than that.
Grab it as in bearing
Eggs.
eggs.
Yeah, maybe
You wanna go
that's
ahead
a
and zoom in on
female
their
with a
video?
bunch of eggs inside can make their bellies much larger. Of course,
Yeah.
also these animals eat food opportunistically, so it's possible that
Just
also
ate a
had
big meal.
They could have had a big meal.
So look,
when
is
we
that
were-
that white stripe that you were talking about?
It might be up at the base of the dorsal
Yeah.
fin.
Yeah, that's cool. When we were covering shift for last night's dinner. When we got back, Erica saw one that she also thought
I
maybe
see,
was
massive.
carrying eggs.
Oh,
It
really?
was quite bulbous. It was a little more bulbous than
Oh,
this
that's a
guy.
beautiful
Okay.
zoom.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, go ahead and come wide video.
Nice shot.
So, do you think we're on the uphill then side of something?
Yeah.
I can't hear. What?
We're directly facing downslope, so it was strange to me that that step up was going the way that it was.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's almost like this is the other side of that cliff feature. You know, if this is like a fingerling out to the pointing east.
Well, we were seeing it there, and then we've been up here.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I mean, if you look on HiPAC, like the vehicles are sliding into like the northeast, and then
Oh, yeah, so it looks like it's dropping off.
yeah,
So, yeah, we're up at the top, okay, uphill.
right when we're settled out where we want to be, we'll be gone over this, and we can look back at it looking west.
Okay.
Great.
Got it. But a decent amount of black corals up here.
Do you want to come full wide there, please? Just want to see
Seems
where.
like it's a couple of places where it's all like broken off or given way.
All right, you can go ahead and push past those residues there. Let me go see if this other side is better view. Maybe work more upslope
Someone
anyway.
just commented that the grenadiers always look like they are dejected, like they just missed a bus.
Aw.
Resting sad face, is that
You
what
know,
you're
they live in a
saying?
really cold, dark environment, and
Yeah.
we're in our here with our bright lights, so
Yeah,
maybe they're just mad.
or no one really sees their facial expression, so it doesn't matter. You can have resting grumpy face
Someone would like
when
to
you
know
live
what
in the dark.
someone would like to know what the specs on the onboard camera are. They said the zoom is amazing.
Yeah, that's the it is hands down the very best camera for subsea. That's the Insight Pacific Zeus Plus, and its resolution is only 1080i, and it's still used today, and it's still the most superior camera out there, even though there's all these 4K cameras, because of the quality. It's a broadcast quality camera in a good corrected dome. So there's no 4K solution in the world right now to have this kind of optical quality at that resolution. Yeah, this is an amazing camera. It's fantastic imagery with it.
And the
Now we're looking upslope, is that right?
Now we're facing upslope.
Uh-huh, okay.
Scott, did they also ask about the specs they're seeing, or are they just asking
No,
about
they
the
were
camera?
on the
Oh, like literally
the
SPECS.
yeah, the
Okay, so
specifics
specs.
or specifications of the camera.
Yeah, you can look it up on the internet. Insight Pacific Zeus Plus.
Thanks, Mike. I ask you, where do you go in 2020? When do you go? So as I mentioned earlier, we will be in the East Pacific again along the west coast of North America from British Columbia on down through Southern California. Our mobile unit is going to be in the Gulf of Mexico, I believe. I do not believe that there are specifics yet on the whens, but it will be beginning probably around May and run through October.
Aaron, you think Argus is about settled out there?
I love that you're ready to make your days and nights free for next year's season already.
Argus facing 0. You are here. No, I don't think so. I think you're
Okay.
still here.
The viewer says the compression on 4K to stream would be disgusting. Herc has perfect eyes. The better to
Oh, I
see
do another
you with, my
step
dear.
over and off a little bit. Like,
So I'm wondering if we want another step or if we're gonna just continue to lay back.
Try stepping it. So you still want to go out from the slope?
a little bit out, but what were
Yeah,
you saying
right
there,
now
Mike?
Argus is not far away, but I don't, you know.
All right, 045, 20 meters. Yep.
That sounds good to
Sounds
me.
good
Do
to
you
me,
think?
yep.
Bridge nav. 20-meter step bearing 045, please.
So how's this ship movement gonna work? I'm just trying to learn what we're doing.
Yeah, if you look on, well, it's hard to
Two.
decipher. Trying to tow Argus off the wall far enough to the east so that Herc can get in there.
Okay, got it.
Need to keep them far off because as we descend down the wall, we kind of get into a little bit of a danger zone where, you know, we've got a 20 to 30 meter space where Argus is, but it's, you know, it's below a cliff, right? So we gotta back off of it and then get down, and we can kind of. It's a bit of a dance because you have to get close enough for Herc to operate, but you don't want Argus like right next to it because if the ship moves at all, we don't want to be in the wall.
Uh-huh.
So Argus does have thrusters that enable it to move left, right, up and down? Or
It's just for orientation though, like it won't move it out of the way of anything.
So it has to be pulled if you want to move it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we get on these sheer cliff faces, it takes time because at this depth, like it takes so long for the wire, for Argus to move, from the ship move.
Okay.
We have to be careful because if we're, you know, if we're in cliffs, we can't just simply pull up on the winch if we're down too deep. That's why when we left the last cliff, like we were more comfortable to be closer to the top of it before we start steaming around because we know we only need to move Argus up like maybe 10 or 15 meters to clear something.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But down at the bottom, we might not have time to fix a bad move.
Always thinking ahead.
That's the Argus game.
Okay.
It's really amazing when you think about it. It's sort of hard to imagine, at least for me, watching the views from Hercules, you know, over 2 miles below the surface of the ocean. That's 2 miles, over 2 miles of cable that run from Argus up to the ship. The physics associated with that, the drag on it from the current, the scope, which is sort of the sag or loop in that cable. It's remarkable from an engineering and physics standpoint what's actually happening, and yet Hercules is so specific in the work that it does.
Yeah, it's pretty neat that that you can do it all. Hey, that it all works.
And I work with a lot of schools and kids, and it's amazing. I don't know if it's amazing. Obviously, I'm a marine, all things marine nerd. But when I work with kids and we do these Nautilus interactions, I ask them if they know what an ROV is, and maybe 95 to 98% of them have no idea. They've never heard of an ROV before. But I ask them if they know what a drone is, and everybody's hand shoots up. So I try and explain to them that an ROV is like an underwater drone, but because of the physics associated with water, you can't just send a remote signal down there.
Right.
You have to have these cables to provide the information to control them. And the sense of scale, when I tell them that Hercules is the size of a small SUV, it kind of blows their mind as well. It's a whole new generation of
So what's that?
kids being introduced to this.
Interrupt to talk ops for a second.
Yes.
We really want to definitely be up here, or as close as possible by end of watch. That is 1,200 meters away. So we're just going to have to get kind of in a comfortable position and start trucking it up.
Okay.
So where do you want to be? You want to be looking at whatever this steep slope is? You want me to pull you off more quickly?
Jen, do you guys want to maintain visual contact with the ground? Conversely, we could tow. I can't hear you. Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, if we can just get an overview visual as we go by, that would be great. But I definitely want to make sure we can get moving towards that next waypoint.
Oh, wait. So do you guys not want to see this mound once we get this ship move kind of settled?
I think it's going to have to be